Well, quickly, before we go, because we understand that, well, you really will be leaving, you have an engagement. This talk about Bakassi declaring independence, hoisting a flag, and others would like to know, well, your take on that.
Well, I think the Bakassi issue is a little complex. Complex in the sense that it has to do with the integrity, the credibility, and the standing of Nigeria in the international community in terms of commitment to decisions that have been taken. It is also constitutional in the sense that the Bakassi local government is one of the 774 local governments in Nigeria. Much more importantly, the cessation of any part of Nigeria to any country for any reason must be approved by the National Assembly.
So let me come in there at this stage. What happens to the Green Tree agreements?
Well, I thought that what we will say here is that every process must be fulfilled and followed. If I go back to the question that he asked, I think we are talking about the constitutionality of the arrangement to cede that part of Nigeria, the desire of the people in that area, and the agitation now that they want to remain part of Nigeria, they want to remain on their own. And so if I remain within that realm, I want to think that until all the requirements have been met, the secession cannot be said to be legal. And so I think the House of Representatives and the National Assembly are taking the right position by resolving to revisit the issue and to see the legality of the whole process, and not just the legality, the convenience and welfare of the people of Nigeria that reside in Bakassi.
There is an ongoing controversy over the ruling of the ICJ, you know, ceding Bakassi to Cameroon in the first place. People have said that it was a faulty judgment in the first place, and the federal government chose to tag along by, you know, giving ceding Bakassi to Cameroon. What do you have to say about that?
I think that when you say the federal government, from the unfolding issues now, you realize that it was not a complete acceptance in the sense that it's the executive level of government that actually accepted to tag along. The National Assembly that had a final decision as to whether the whole process has been complied with, to give approval or an affirmation to the whole process, had not been involved, had not given its consent, had not given its affirmation. And so, to that extent, I think that that judgment and the acceptance by Nigeria or otherwise is still hanging.
So how do we, sorry,
I think we have to end it there. We don't really have time. Sorry, guys, we have to allow the minister to run off because he has an appointment.
How do we,
sorry, Benga.
How do we make a rescue? Because we have an October 10 deadline. So that was just the question.
Well, that will be for the lawyer to answer.
Yeah, we have a lawyer I think so. And then for the National Assembly, if they can within that period also conclude their own consideration of the issues involved.
Well, Abba Moro, would like to thank you so very much for coming on Sunrise Daily this morning.
Thank you.
Well, we have a lawyer who will be looking at the Bakassi matter proper and look at the right to appeal that judgment of the ICJ. Well, you've been speaking with some people here in Lagos this morning, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what will you be talking about?
Well, we will be talking, we have a stakeholders conference on the expatriate quota administration in Nigeria. And it will be predicated on the need to educate stakeholders and members of the public on the operations of the Ministry of Interior as it relates to expatriate quota administration in Nigeria. The reason that Nigerians have become concerned about Asians and other nationals coming to take up jobs that ordinary Nigerians should be handling. We want to let them know that with the introduction and partnership with this private company for the expatriate quota administration, that those issues that confront us as a nation with regards to employments that Nigerians should have, that aliens have taken over, will be a thing of the past, because we'll now properly monitor who comes to Nigeria and does what. Unfortunately, in the past, we have had this problem of lack of proper understanding of the quality of certificates that come into the country, to the extent that some technicians will come to the country and posing as engineers.